I was sitting in my therapist's office, the dim light casting shadows on the worn-out couch, when she said something that hit me like a freight train. "You're not their savior, and you're killing yourself trying to be." My chest tightened. For years, I'd been pouring my heart into fixing people, friends, family, even strangers who didn't ask for it. I thought it was my purpose, my gift. But there I was, 29 years old, emotionally drained, with nothing left for myself. My relationships were crumbling, my confidence was shot, and I was staring at a life that felt like a hollow shell of what I'd dreamed it would be. Have you ever felt like you're carrying someone else's weight, only to realize you're the one sinking? It started small, innocent even. In high school, I was the friend who always listened. When Sarah cried over her boyfriend's cheating, I stayed up until 3 a.m. talking her through it. When my brother flunked his exams, I spent weeks tutoring him, neglecting my own studies. I thought I was helping, being the good friend, the reliable sibling. But by my mid-20s, it wasn't just helping anymore. It was an obsession. I'd cancel plans to mediate my parents' arguments. I'd spend hours crafting advice for coworkers who never followed through. I even tried to fix my ex, convincing myself I could make him stop lying, stop drinking, stop breaking my heart. Spoiler, I couldn't. Each time, I'd pour my energy into their problems, believing if I tried hard enough, I could change them. But the harder I tried, the more I lost myself. The breaking point came last year. I was scrolling through my phone, numb, ignoring texts from friends I hadn't seen in months because I was too busy saving someone else. My therapist's words echoed, "You're not their savior." I looked at my life. My anxiety was through the roof. I'd gained 20 pounds from stress eating, and I couldn't remember the last time I'd laughed without forcing it. I was 29, but I felt 50. The truth hit me like a slap. I wasn't fixing anyone. I was breaking myself. I'd spent years chasing the high of being needed, thinking it gave me purpose, but all it gave me was resentment and exhaustion. Studies show 68% of people pleasers experience burnout by their early 30s. 68%. I was a statistic, and I didn't even see it coming. I remember one night sitting in my car outside my best friend's house. She'd called me, sobbing because her boss had screamed at her again. I drove over at 11 p.m., ready to fix it, to give her the perfect advice to stand up for herself. But as I sat there, gripping the steering wheel, I realized I was furious. Not at her, but at me. Why was I doing this? Why was I sacrificing my sleep, my peace, my life for someone who'd probably call me again next week with the same problem? That's when I knew something had to change. I couldn't keep playing the hero in everyone else's story while mine was falling apart. My therapist called it compulsive fixing, a need to control others' outcomes to feel valuable. It was like I'd been addicted to it, and the withdrawal was brutal. The first step was admitting I wasn't as powerful as I thought. I couldn't make my ex stop drinking. I couldn't force my friend to leave her toxic job. I couldn't even get my parents to stop fighting. It felt like failure at first, like I was giving up on them, but my therapist flipped the script. Letting go isn't abandoning them, it's saving yourself. That hit hard. I started looking back at the patterns. Every time I tried to fix someone, I ended up frustrated, ignored, or blamed. I'd spent $200 on self-help books for my brother, only for him to drop out of college again. I'd lost friendships because I pushed too hard, thinking I knew what was best. The more I reflected, the clearer it became. My need to fix others was about me, not them. It was about proving I was enough. By the time I left that therapy session, I was shaken but awake. I'd been living for other people's breakthroughs, not mine. I'd measured my worth by how many problems I could solve, how many people I could save. But what about me? What about my dreams, my mental health, my life? I wasn't just burned out, I was lost. If you've ever felt like you're drowning in other people's chaos, like you're the only one holding it together while your own world crumbles, then you know exactly what I mean. The question wasn't just how to stop fixing people, it was how to start saving myself. So there I was, staring at the wreckage of my life, realizing I'd been trying to fix everyone but myself. The weight of that truth was crushing, but it was also the spark I needed. My therapist didn't just call me out. She gave me a roadmap to break free from this cycle of compulsive fixing. It wasn't easy. It felt like unlearning everything I thought made me good. But step by step, I started to claw my way back to myself, and I'm going to share exactly how I did it. If you're stuck in the same trap, pouring your energy into saving others while your own life slips away, these steps can change everything. First, I had to face the ugly truth. My need to fix people was about control, not kindness. My therapist had me do this exercise, write down every time I tried to help someone in the past month and what I got out of it. I filled 2 pages. Most of the time, I wasn't helping because they asked. I was doing it to feel needed, to prove I was worthy. That realization stung. Step 1 was to pause before jumping in. Now, when someone vents to me, I ask, "Do you want advice or do you just need to talk?" Half the time, they just want to be heard. Try it. Next time your friend calls you in a panic, don't rush to solve their problem. Ask what they need. It's a game changer, and it saves you from wasting energy on solutions they might not even want. Step 2 was setting boundaries, and let me tell you, it felt like betraying everyone I loved. I started small. I stopped answering calls after 10 p.m. unless it was a real emergency. The first time I let my friend's tearful voicemail sit until morning, I felt like a monster. But you know what? She was fine. The world didn't end. I used an app called Freedom to block my phone's notifications for a few hours each night, giving myself permission to rest. Studies show that setting boundaries reduces stress by 40% in people pleasers. 40%. I started saying no to things that drained me, like driving across town to fix someone's drama. Instead, I'd say, "I'm here for you, but I can't take this on right now." It was awkward at first, but it got easier. You can start with 1 boundary a week. Maybe it's not checking your phone during dinner. You'll be shocked at how much mental space it frees up. Step 3 was redirecting my energy to my own goals. I'd spent so long obsessing over other people's problems that I'd forgotten what I wanted. My therapist had me make a dream list, things I'd do if I wasn't so busy fixing everyone. I wrote down learn photography and run a 5K. It felt silly, but I started small. I signed up for an online photography course for $50 and spent my evenings practicing instead of counseling my cousin through her latest breakup. 6 months later, I sold my first photo for $200. That's not life-changing money, but it was proof I could build something for myself. Pick one thing you've always wanted to do. Maybe it's writing, cooking, or just reading a book without interruption. Block out 30 minutes a day for it. You'll start to feel like you're living for you, not just existing for others. Step 4 was learning to listen without fixing. This was the hardest. My instinct was to jump in with solutions, but my therapist taught me to reflect instead. If my brother complained about his job, instead of saying, "Quit and find something better," I'd say, "That sounds really tough. What do you think you'll do?" It felt so passive at first, but it worked. People started solving their own problems, and I wasn't exhausted anymore. There's a psychology trick here. Active listening makes people feel supported without you taking on their burden. Try it next time someone unloads on you. Just reflect their feelings back. You'll be amazed at how it shifts the dynamic. The benefits of these steps were undeniable. Before, I was anxious, overweight, and disconnected. After 6 months of setting boundaries and focusing on myself, I'd lost 15 pounds, started a side hustle that earned me $3,000, and reconnected with friends I'd pushed away. My relationships got stronger too. Not because I was fixing people, but because I was showing up as myself, not their therapist. I wasn't resentful anymore. I had energy, purpose, a life. The best part? People around me started stepping up. My friend who always vented about her boss? She finally confronted her and got a raise. My brother? He figured out his own path without my lectures. By letting go, I gave them space to grow, and I gave myself space to live. I stood at the edge of my old life, the one where I thought fixing everyone else was my purpose, and I took a leap. It wasn't easy. Letting go of that need to save people felt like losing a piece of who I was. But what I gained was so much bigger: my peace, my dreams, myself. I'm not saying I'm perfect now. I still catch myself wanting to jump in, to fix, to control. But every time I pause, set a boundary, or choose myself, I'm reminded that I'm not just surviving anymore. I'm thriving. And you can too. If you're exhausted from carrying other people's burdens, if you're drowning in their chaos while your own life slips through your fingers, this is your wake-up call. You don't have to be anyone's savior to be enough. This journey isn't about abandoning the people you love. It's about loving yourself enough to stop breaking under their weight. Start today, right now. Pick one thing from my story that hit home. Maybe it's asking, "Do you want advice or just to talk?" the next time someone vents. Maybe it's saying no to a late-night crisis call and choosing sleep instead. Or maybe it's writing down one dream you've buried under everyone else's problems and taking a single step toward it. I promise you, that first step will feel like freedom. I went from spending 80% of my energy on other people's drama to building a life where I've got room for my own joy. Photography gigs, morning runs, nights laughing with friends instead of playing therapist. You deserve that kind of life too. Here's the truth. The world won't fall apart if you stop fixing everyone, but your world might just come alive when you start fixing yourself. So, hit that subscribe button if you're ready to take back your life, to stop being the hero in everyone else's story and start being the hero in your own. I'm dropping videos every week with real, raw stories and steps to help you break free from whatever's holding you back. And I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's one thing you're doing today to stop fixing others and start saving yourself? Let's build this journey together. You're not alone and you're worth it. Let's do this.